G'day guys, X-Ray Racer 1 here, and welcome to the very first build series of 2017. This is going to be part 1 of the Tamiya TT01 racing truck build series. This is what I'm going to be calling this particular build series. If I was going to call it the full name of the car and the truck body, it's just going to be one hell of a long title. So this is the TT01 racing truck build series, and this is part 1, and as always part 1 starts with the unboxing. So this kit, I bought it for one particular reason. Well, one little reason was the price. It was on sale, which I took advantage of. However, I am a member of the Castle Hill Race Car Club in Sydney, and we've been discussing every now and then about how we can bring newcomers to the hobby, especially with on-road racing. We've noticed there's been a slight decline in attendance, and while off-road is still very popular, on-road's kind of gone down a little bit. So we'd been discussing, how can we attract newcomers to the hobby and to racing radio control. So one of the fellas showed a picture on Facebook of this particular truck, and he said, how cool would it be to see a whole heap of these going around? And we've also noticed that there's quite a few that people who see radio control cars and things like that, we've noticed that people are not attracted to real life or scale looking cars, not like the molded soap cake bodied touring cars that you would no doubtedly have seen. So and we got discussing, well, that's all very well, but what could we do to make it cost effective? And someone mentioned, basically making a control class. And by that, the whole idea behind the class is everyone runs the same chassis, the same body, and it's out of the box as is, with two small exceptions. You can put ball bearings in it, and if you want, you can have the option of putting in a steel pinion gear, because Tamiya have aluminium or aluminum pinion gears, and they do wear out. So those are the only things you can do to this. So what we've done is a couple of us have got these trucks, and we're going to do our best to get a class going for like a control class. So basically what we're going to be doing is running the truck as is and having it very tightly controlled class. So this is the truck. It is a MAN TGS shell, and it is on the Tamiya TT01 Type E chassis. Now, the TT01 chassis is probably Tamiya's most widely used, most versatile, and probably one of the most rugged touring car chassis on the market. And it is brilliant for newcomers. There's no adjustability for camber. There's no toe-in adjustability. I mean, you can buy option parts, so you can do that, but it's very basic, very robust, and quite rugged. And that's one good thing we also liked about this control class, is that it's the control chassis, so everyone runs the TT01 chassis, and it is brilliant for newcomers who don't understand suspension tuning, who don't understand camber, who don't understand tyre compounds, because we'll be running the tyres that come with the kit. So this kit, it comes with a motor. Apparently it comes with a torque tuned motor. It also comes with a electronic speed controller as well. Now the speed controller that comes with it is a brushless and brushed compatible speed controller. So if you were wanting to put a brushless motor in, you can. However, I do believe it has something like a I think the equivalent of a 17.5 turn limit. So you'll be limited to what motor you can, or it could be a 13.5 turn limit. I'm not too sure. But when I get into building it, I will let you know. Now, things you will need to complete the kit is you will need your own radio system, which involves a radio transmitter and receiver. You will also need a steering servo, and also you will need a Tamiya stick type battery, either the old school Tamiya style, where the rounded kind, or your square stick packs. They should fit in. I'll test it when I've built the chassis. And you will also obviously need a battery charger as well. So those are the things that you will need to get to finish the kit. You'll also need a Phillips head screwdriver, a few basic tools and things like that. I do believe Tamiya have a few basic tools included in the kit. So enough talking about the kit, let's look inside. Now I did buy a ball bearing kit from the hobby shop that I got this from. So when this is the first thing you'll have a look at, the body comes in several pieces. This is the main part that goes on to the chassis, and then you have the cab section that goes on. So I'll be doing a detailed paint job on this. Interestingly enough, I will not be doing the box art paintwork. I will show you later on. Well, what I'll do is later on I will show you the paint scheme that I'll be doing. So here's the rest of the body. As I said, it comes in several pieces. So you got most of the cab here, then there's a few other bits and pieces like front grille and so forth that you cut out and stick to the main cab part of the shell. So I'll put that over there. Alright, so now here we have our body posts, suspension arms. Now, the TT01, while I think it is a little bit of a disappointment, you know, it's not the early 90s anymore. We're in, you know, the 21st century. It still comes with friction dampers, not oil-filled shock dampers, which I think, personally, I think is a fail, but I also think it's also to keep the costs down for newcomers. Yeah, friction dampers, chassis parts here. Alright, so we got battery straps, shock towers, motor plates, motor guard, looks like steering bell cranks, front bumper stays, transmission covers. Okay, we got caster blocks, C-hubs, diff housings, more shock towers, and we have detail parts for the truck. So we got like the trailer hitch, rear bumper, other detail parts like the rear view mirrors and so forth. Alright, so here we have our diff out drive, it's shaft driven chassis, so we have the drive shaft that goes down the middle. Alrighty. Alright, so here we have our motor There's the pinion gear. Now I'll be changing this one out to a steel one. These are the plastic bushings. These will not be used in the build. I'll be using ball bearings. We have a few basic tools, some grease. It's a bit hard to tell. Some shafts in here, some springs. So that's your hardware. Alright, here's our wheels. These are the scale truck wheels. Look pretty mad. Here are our tyres. Okay, now here is the electronic speed controller. Like I said to you before, as you can see from the blue, yellow and orange, those are 3 motor wires, but it comes from the factory set to run on a brushed motor. And we have our foam bumper. It's a big bumper because of the truck body. And we come to our business end, the chassis. So it's a very simplistic design, and that's the chassis there. And also, last but not least, I'll put that over there. Well, antenna tube. Don't know if I'll be using that, but we have our instructions, the body set assembly in there. Tells you the do's and don'ts of running. And here we also have our decals, and here's our window masks. So like I said to you, I will not be doing the actual box art. I'll be doing something else. I might leave it till the last moment to show you what it is. So, and here is the optional, well, it's not a Tamiya option, it's something I bought from the hobby shop. These are the bearings that I'll be using for the build. So and for reference, I got this from Walter RC in Sydney. I will drop a link down below for the website. I do believe he ships internationally, and yeah, so that's where I got the bearing kit from. He sells bearing kits for various Tamiya makes. So yeah, so that's the unboxing. Stay tuned for part 2 where we start building this puppy. Stay tuned, guys.